In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Alright folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place. Welcome to
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
It got up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Let's get started again.
Get ready to fight from within. You're about to go behind enemy lines on K98.
Roger, 3-2. Goliath copies all. Go ahead. Target is surrounded by multiple firms entering what appears to be a residential area. Requesting permission to engage.
From the People's Republic of New York City, you're now going behind enemy lines with Gene Baradelli and Russ Gallo.
And you are now behind enemy lines. Hey there, how you doing? Gene Baradelli here. Finally, he's back.
I'm back, Gene.
Oh my goodness! Thank God you're here because the shows sucked
I've
without
been released for good behavior. I'm back.
Whoa! I didn't say. I told him
whoa.
you were somewhere else. Don't say that. I told him you were out of drill. I didn't say you were like.
Well, for good behavior.
Okay. Russ Gallo's back, folks. Russ, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing all right. I've been looking forward to seeing you.
Aww.
And I wish I could be in the chat room tonight.
Well, listen.
Computer's having some problems.
Listen. Let's not BS our audience here. You're waiting to go to the bar. We gotta do this first. So let's get it out of the way. Let's knock it out of the park, alright?
It is true. I'm off tomorrow, folks, so I'm going out.
Alright, so let's talk about all the stuff you missed. I don't know if you know this, Russ, but there's an organization selling baby parts. There's a debate coming this week that has about 17 gazillion candidates in it. And Uncle Joe Biden may be running for president.
First of all, I love the idea that Joe Biden may run for
Uncle
president.
Joe. Listen, he's like everybody's kooky uncle, isn't he?
But for the baby parts thing, I can actually, I'd like to put a bid in. I don't know if it's on eBay yet for a liver. Can I buy a liver?
You're gonna need one after tonight, pal.
Wow,
That's
that
for sure.
sounds like a terrible joke, right, folks? Well, wait till we start talking about this, because it's astonishing what the heck Planned Parenthood is up to. I know that sounds like a terrible joke, right? You're offended? Too damn bad. You need to be offended.
You know what you should be offended about? Planned Parenthood selling baby parts. But we'll get to that later
we'll
on in the
get
show.
there. Let's calm down.
And we will also be talking about the fields for the presidency of the United States on the Republican side. The first debate happening in Cleveland, Ohio. By the way, little programming announcement. I will be going to Cleveland, not as a candidate.
Oh, Gene, are you in the debate?
I am not in the debate. I will be attending the American Conservative Union Buckeye Boot Camp and debate after watch party. They're having a whole campaign thing for people in Ohio. Ohio, of course, is a swing state. It's going to be a really good time, and it's at the House of Blues, and there's a bar. So that's why I'm
awesome. I wish I can come, but I just
well, you weren't invited, so whatever.
I wasn't invited.
No,
actually.
you were invited.
I wasn't.
Stop it.
I was not.
You weren't around.
For the record, I was not. But I just Googled, and Gene Baradelli is actually polling number 26 in the Republican field.
That's interesting because there's 17 in the field.
But you made 26, so that's actually pretty badass.
I will not seek the nomination.
I shall not seek, nor will I accept the nomination of...
And that is not the first time you hear that joke tonight, folks. Everybody doesn't know Russ, of course, is a first sergeant in the New York National Guard. That's why he's been away. Don't believe the rumors.
That and $1.50 might get you a cup of coffee somewhere around here.
But it does get you the keys to the armory, and that's why I'm his friend. So, and that's the truth right there, because when the zombie apocalypse comes, I'm going to Russ Gallo's house.
By the way, just real quick, you mentioned Joe Biden maybe jumping into the race.
Zombie apocalypse? What? Oh, wait, hold on. My bad.
What about Mario Cuomo? Not Mario.
No, zombie apocalypse. Wow, there you go.
Andrew Cuomo, is he jumping in?
No, I don't know if he's jumping in, but word is Jimmy McMillan is thinking about it.
The only reason why I'm mentioning
the
this,
rent
folks,
is
is
too damn high.
I want to be on the record. Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York State, will be indicted. I'm telling you this. I've been saying it forever. It's going to happen. But go ahead, Gene.
All right, well, he's got that prediction on the record. And by the way, your prediction rate lately, pretty damn good, I gotta say.
You.
But let's talk about all the things you missed. What is the last thing you remember in the news? I can't even think that far back.
I saw Donald Trump said that the Mexicans coming here were rapists.
Oh, you saw that? Yes.
I did see that.
Since a lot has happened since then with Donald Trump. He's given away Lindsey Graham's cell phone number.
I loved that, by the way. Loved it.
I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was
and
awesome.
then recently this week, Gawker, in response, gave away Donald Trump's cell phone number.
Which is awesome too.
And you know what Donald Trump did?
I love it.
What Trump did was, it was short of brilliant. He actually put a message on his phone with a campaign message. Hi, my name is Donald Trump. I'm running for president.
Awesome.
Blah, 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 blah. The whole deal. Turning a negative into a positive. That is true leadership. I'm warming up to Donald Trump a little bit, Russ.
I love Donald Trump.
Don't get me wrong. Rick Perry's still my guy. But
I like Rick. I do. I can live with Rick Perry. I can live with Donald Trump. I can live with almost any of these guys over Hillary.
well, you know what? We're going to be
And
talking.
girls. Carly too.
Carly too. Let's talk about the lower tier that didn't make the main event stage at the Fox debate, Russ. There are some names in there that should be definitely recognized and listened to. And then there's some names there that should be just thrown into the stockpile of history. I mean, Governor Gilmore, really?
Who?
And there you go. But okay.
But you got Santorum.
Some names that should be listened
Carly
to.
Fiorina.
Santorum, Carly Fiorina, Rick Perry. Definitely should be listened to. Bobby Jindal, I have not taken seriously as a candidate yet.
Yeah. A lot of these guys are young. They're a little green. I don't know if they're absolutely ready.
Well, Bobby Jindal is probably the most conservative governor that's running for president right now. When you think about the governors, you think Jeb Bush, you think Chris Christie, you think John Kasich. Kasich's pretty conservative, but I think that Jindal is the most conservative governor out there right now when you think about it.
But here's the deal. You want to be the president of the United States, it's a different world than it was 200 years ago, okay? You want to be the president of the United States, you have to have some stage presence. You got to.
Carly Fiorina has that.
Yeah, she does. But a guy like Donald Trump, a guy like Ted Cruz, and you're going to see this during the debates, you have to have some presence. I like Bobby Jindal, but Bobby Jindal, much like George Pataki, I'll fall asleep listening to these guys.
Well, didn't Pataki fall asleep during the first forum?
He's another one.
Thing?
He fell asleep himself. George Pataki's a joke, first of all. Get off the stage. But Bobby Jindal, although I love him, he's not flamboyant enough in this day and age to be on TV. He did the Republican response a few years ago. It was disastrous. It was terrible. Okay. It sounds terrible to say this, but you need to have some kind of a flamboyant type of a character.
You have to have a delivery. You have to have a presence. You have to have a presence. All right, so Gilmore get off the stage. Pataki get off the stage.
Pataki, come on.
Who else needs to get off the stage, Russ?
What's the guy's name? The senator.
Don't say Rand Paul. Don't say Rand Paul.
No, not the top tier guys. I could barely. Lindsey Graham, come on, Lindsey, get off the stage.
No. See, here's Lindsey Graham is actually brilliant in this sense. What is one of the first states to have a primary? His home state of South Kakalaki.
Lindsey Graham get off the stage. But
if he wins the South Carolina primary, he gets an infusion of cash and he sticks around a while. That's why he's in it. Okay, so Graham get off the stage, Gilmore get off the stage, Pataki get off the stage, Fiorina stays, Jindal get off?
No, Jindal stay.
Okay. Rick Perry, stay or get off the stage?
Absolutely stay.
Even though he's been the anti-Trump.
He's been the anti-Trump, but he's got the executive experience that counts. I think that Rick Perry, you stay.
And I say, and I've interviewed the man and I have a lot of respect for him, Rick Santorum get off the stage.
I have a tough time saying that only because I think Rick Santorum keeps these guys honest in a lot of ways. Rick Santorum's never going to support abortion, ever. A guy like Donald Trump will. A guy like Rand Paul might take a libertarian stance and say that abortion's fine. A guy like Rick Santorum keeps these guys honest.
Santorum came in second to Romney, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day,
so if we take the Russ Gallo theory of politics, he should be the heir apparent, right?
No, it's never the guy who... I get what you're saying. The guy who almost got it is the guy who gets it this time. But
it's definitely not Rick Santorum this time.
Santorum didn't almost get it. He almost got it by default, but Romney already had it bagged up. It wasn't even really close back then. Romney almost had it against John McCain. John McCain almost had it against George Bush. That's really the way it goes. This time around, it's an open field.
All right. Well, listen, folks. We want you to hang out with us in the chat room during our live show. The chat's always hopping. We're doing a pre-record because I'm going to Cleveland. You want to say something, Russ? You're pointing at me for some reason.
I did, because I just want to say, you asked me what else did I hear, just real quick. I hope we talk about Cecil the Lion at some point.
Oh, we definitely will talk about Cecil the Lion. For sure. No doubt about it. I don't even know why the lion has a name, but whatever. But while you're online, folks, check out www.BehindEnemyLinesRadio.us, our official website. We had a record month in July. We want to break records in August. Check it out. And also, while you're on the internet, check out the official website of the Brooklyn Young Republicans, www.brooklynYRS.com. And check us out on the Facebook and the Twitters at BEL_radio. Russ, you've been off social media for a while. You gonna get back into the game here or what?
I'm trying to get back on. I'm trying.
Russ Gallo is a maniac on Twitter. Follow him at Russ Gallo. He needs the followers because he's about 400 behind me right now. He doesn't know it though.
And at G Birdelli, my main man, he is the engine that keeps this show going, to be honest. He put that in my profile on the website.
Well, listen, I only did it because Russ had some business to do, but now he's back. And this is going to be a wild show. And in fact, it's going to be so wild, we're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we're going to get into some Planned Parenthood news. And I think Russ might go off on a little bit of a rant here. What do you think, Russ?
I have little hands and feet for sale in my trunk whenever you're ready, Gene.
Gene and Russ, Behind Enemy Lines. We'll be back right after these brief words.
So what is Behind Enemy Lines anyway?
This is the true story of two friends living in the People's Republic of New York City who work together and have their conversations taped to find out what happens when conservatives stop being politically correct and start getting real. We are Behind Enemy Lines. Watch your wallets. Thursdays at 1 on WNJC, part of the Conservative Commandos radio network.
Behind Enemy Lines. Back on the air.
Gene and Russ, back Behind Enemy Lines. And Russ, listen, you've missed a lot in the past week or so. I don't know if you know this, but there's a debate coming up in a couple of days. It's kind of a big deal.
Who's in it?
You know what? At this point, I think they're going to do a lottery. There's going to be a round-robin tournament. And soon then just Fox is just going to pick whoever they want anyway after that. So.
I heard rumors you actually might have made the 10th spot.
I am repeating my announcement from 3 weeks ago and last week as well. I am not running for the office of the President of the United States.
I shall not accept no.
Oh, man.
Was it Lyndon Johnson?
It was one of them. I shall not seek the nomination. I will not accept if I am nominated. Something like that, right? But you've missed a lot of the outrage. There was a lion that was actually killed on a hunt.
The world stopped because a lion was killed in Africa.
Apparently,
in Africa.
The entire world stopped except the country where the lion was from because the people were like, "What lion? We don't know what you're talking about."
So,
it's
I don't even know where to begin here. But let me start with this for all you idiots listening. Not our loyal fans, but if you have
no, he means you too.
You too, some of you. I know a lot of you guys watch these Disney cartoons where you see like lions singing songs and dancing and
Circle of Life,
like all that crap. Guess what? Lions are evil creatures. They will kill you. They will murder you. They will eat you. A woman who was like an MSNBC producer not long ago was murdered by a lion while she was on a trip in Africa. These are wild animals. So what? That one was killed during a hunt. So what? When you go through a Wendy's drive-thru and you're eating a chicken, you're eating an animal. So what? I don't understand where this outrage is, Gene. Tell me where the outrage is. Why?
It's because lions matter, Russ. I mean,
why do lions' lives matter?
Well, because they're lions, Russ.
Because they're cute? Like, is it the cute animals we care about?
It's the little itty-bitty kitty.
And it's only cute because Disney makes cartoons about them and you think they're cute. Wake the hell up. Lions are big, evil, wild animals. Who cares if one gets killed?
But they dance so well on Broadway, Russ.
Yeah, I know they're on ice and they can ice skate in the city. Like, hello? It's a lion.
You would think that people would care more about the other news that has been breaking for weeks now that you've been missing, rather than this lion. The social outrage right now over a dentist shooting a lion. I know that you weren't around when I went on my little rant about it, but wow.
He was a white dentist and he shot an African lion. Wake up, Gene. But I'm not going to go there. Go ahead.
Wow, and that is why Russ Gallo is this show's official Grand Wizard of Race Relations. I know you like that phrase, right?
I love it. Thanks for the title.
No problem.
But seriously, that definitely has something to do with it.
Took 10 seconds to come up with it, though.
Listen, that has something to do with it. Make no mistake about it. That has something to do with it.
I think it is...
How many black people killed lions in Zimbabwe last year?
How many lions killed black people in Zimbabwe last year?
Or that stat. Nobody cares about those stats for some... How many black people, black Christians, were beheaded or burned alive in Africa as a whole last year by radical Muslims? No one cares.
No, not
Nobody
at all.
cares. But Cecil we care about.
It's got a name, first of all. Let's calm down with that. First of all, lion was killed.
It was a lot. Exactly. We're humanizing this thing because we watch cartoons where lions are people, and that's ridiculous.
But what about the lion's cubs, Russ? I mean,
if lions tasted good, I'd eat them. I don't know what they taste like. Who cares about this thing?
Well, they have a taste for humans. We do know that for sure. In fact, there was an article from Reuters that was talking to some people in Zimbabwe. A, they didn't know who Cecil was. B, they were like, well, where's the American outrage from when a woman from my village just got killed by a lion? Where's the outrage then?
There is no outrage. And I think you were going to go here for a second.
I was going
to the news.
He knew I was transitioning.
So go ahead, you transition.
Well,
I want to jump on this next topic.
Speaking of minorities being killed, or is that too subtle of a reference for Planned Parenthood right now?
Are you referring to brown lions or...
I'm referring to,
black babies.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, so black babies. It's okay, according to Hillary Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama, to abort viable black babies and sell their body parts. Or their whole body. If they're lucky enough to get the whole thing out.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, let's play these two clips right now.
Republicans like Scott Walker and Jeb Bush are calling to defund Planned Parenthood, the country's leading provider of reproductive health care. And they are joined by Republicans in Congress who will not waste a minute in voting to make that happen. If this feels like a full-on assault on women's health, that's because it is. When politicians talk about defunding Planned Parenthood, They're talking about blocking millions of women, men, and young people from life-saving preventive care, cancer screenings, breast exams, birth control. They're talking about cutting people off from the health care provider they know and trust. Unfortunately, these attacks aren't new. They're more of the same.
So there you go, Russ. I mean, it speaks for itself,
So
doesn't
you
it?
have white, disgusting liberal women sipping wine or Starbucks or whatever they swirl they drink, discussing the selling of human body parts.
Let's talk about the realities of Planned Parenthood. Reality number one. Even if they are performing, I think the stat was somewhere around 880,000 abortions per year, right? And they say that 90% of those are done in the first trimester. That still leaves roughly 88,000 babies that could be viable in the second trimester. Given science these days, it's, depending upon where you are in the second trimester, it is possible. 88,000 babies that are, for some reason or another, being aborted. But okay. Choice, I get it. Nobody's standing up for the choice of the viable baby. That's a problem in itself. If you listen to Congressman Duffy, gave a great speech in Congress this week. Listen to that speech. We'll definitely put it up on our website. But Russ, it's unbelievable when you start looking at the racial breakdown.
We're going to get to the racial breakdown. But let's just address something. Let me rewind for 1 second.
Go ahead.
Listen, I am a right-wing Republican, conservative as you get. And abortion has never been on the top tier of issues for me.
Oh, me neither. Me neither. I agree.
However, it's sort of like we're just looking the other way when we all know what the hell is going on here. If you are looking at, and you can Google these pictures, folks, as I have. Google the pictures of baby body parts, late-term abortion. Google these pictures. Anyone who says it's just a clump of cells is a goddamn liar. And maybe Gene has to edit that out and you'll hear bleep in the show.
That's fine.
But they are a liar. I'm looking at little hands, little feet, organs, fully formed. And if you listen to these disgusting demons, these liberal, clip-haired, Starbucks drinking, wine drinking, evil demons, talk about the selling of these body parts, there can be no denial of what it is. You can say social issues aren't important to you, but this is not a social issue. And this is a nonpartisan issue. For Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Clinton to say that Planned Parenthood is doing God's work, they're pure evil, these people. Pure evil. It's not a clump of cells. Look at the pictures. Look at them. Now we can get to the racial component. Because I don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't believe in that crap.
Well, apparently
all lives matter.
Right, but apparently Black lives only matter when you actually are lucky enough to get your way out of the womb.
The most dangerous place for a black person is in the womb.
And you know what? We did an interview at Value Voters Summit with a gentleman that his mother was a victim of rape, and she chose not to abort him, and now he's the head of the Radiance Foundation fighting for the rights of unborn children.
A single mother who was impregnated with a black baby chose not to abort her baby, and that person grew up to be the president of the United States of America. So, hello. What we need to do, though, really, folks, is wake your friends up, because a lot of you, it's like an issue that you steer away from at bars.
It's not
or at
easy
social
to talk about.
But you know what it is? Look at the pictures. Please look at the pictures. It's undeniable what is happening here. If this was a plan, if the Republican Party, Gene, said, we're gonna keep abortions legal at the rates that they are now, knowing full well that blacks have abortion rates quadruple that of whites, and we showed pictures of what these abortions were. I'm not talking about the morning after pill, which you can arguably say is a clump of cells. I'm talking about abortions that are 4, 5, 6 months down the line, where you see little hands, fingers. It's undeniable what you're seeing here. You need to Google these pictures when you have these conversations with your family at a holiday party, and show them what there are. Show them the hypocrites that they are.
You say holiday party? Is this like the Obamacare guy with the footy pajamas saying, let's have a conversation about healthcare?
I didn't see that.
You should Google that as well, my friend.
That's probably hilarious, too.
Yeah, it was hilarious, but this is not hilarious. This is actually something very serious. I think this is an easy subject to stick your head in the sand on, I think is what you're trying to say.
But it's not a partisan
If it's
issue.
out of sight, out of mind, nobody's gonna care.
What Democrat, by the way, you idiots listening. Idiots! What the Democrats are banking on is that you're an idiot. Hillary Clinton can't win if you know what the hell is going on in this world. If you look at pictures of what's being aborted and sold, people making profits off these body parts, then there's no way you can support this.
And at this point, we've had the 5th video come out, you can't deny by now that there isn't a sale of something going on here. There's something very fishy going on here. I think, and I'm praying that what doesn't come out is that there are partial birth abortions going on here with babies being born alive and then being killed for profits. Because I'm afraid that's going to be the next step we're going to see.
When Barack Hussein Obama was a state senator in Illinois, he voted against a bill, folks, that would require doctors to perform medical treatment for botched abortions, where the baby actually survived. Instead, he'd rather just let them die. Now, what does that tell you about this man and his thinking and his party's thinking? If you're a Democrat and you're listening to this show right now, you are not a Democrat. You're not. Unless you're just totally insane or evil. It's just impossible.
Or you're a friend of ours. Which could well be. But we don't know.
No, how could this person be a Democrat? There's no way.
Here's the other thing I gotta talk to you about, because there's a counter-argument to all this, Russ, and it's the idea that there is a law on the books that says that federal government can not give money for abortion, the Hyde Amendment. We've talked about it on the show before. This, to me, is a way of getting around the Hyde Amendment, because what they're doing is, if you read what they're doing medically, they are pumping the fetus with digoxin. Digoxin is a heart medication that is supposed to speed up your heart rate. What this does to a fetus is it kills the fetus. So basically, you're killing the baby. It's now a dead fetus within you, and then you're just taking it out. You're taking a viable fetus in the womb, and you're killing it, basically, with drugs. And then you're going in with the forceps to try to get the organs out. By the way, how is it organs and not a baby if you're on the left? Can someone explain that one to me? How could it be human but not a baby? What is the distinction there? How do we get from one but not the other? Words have meaning. We say it on the show all the time. How is it that you can have organs and it's human but it's not a baby? What's the story there, Russ?
Yeah, and when you talk about the Hyde Amendment, it's a shell game, what Planned Parenthood is doing. They're getting, by the way, folks, you listening here, $500 million a year from the federal government. $500 million. That's $500 million that Planned Parenthood gets out of our tax dollars. And they say, you know what? Not a penny of it goes to abortion. Well, guess what? If you wrote me a check, anyone listening wants to write me a check for, I don't know, $1,000 a month for the rest of my life, I promise not to put it towards my rent. So what does that mean though? Like, I can put it towards anything else, and then that money that I would have put towards anything else can go to my rent. It's a shell game. That $500 million that Planned Parenthood gets may not go to abortions, but it's going to their operating expenses, their rent, all these other expenses that they have, so that they can devote another $500 million towards abortion. Wake the hell up. It's not a woman's right to choose, first of all. Let me just rewind for 1 second. I hate this argument. I freaking hate this argument. Gene, if me and you want to go down to Flatbush Avenue right now and sell a kidney, can we do it?
No.
Why? It's your body. Don't you have a right to choose what's going on inside your body?
There's a federal law that says you can't do that.
So then why can't I cut something else out and abort something else? Like, this doesn't make sense. Why is it a woman? By the way,
especially in your example, because it's not really yours, quote unquote. It's another life.
It's another person. And even if let's discount the fact that it's another life just for the sake of argument. We might have to go a little long here. Let's discount the fact that it's a life. Even though that's ridiculous but let's discount that.
It's human, it's tissues, it's organs, but it's not life.
Let's just put it as a clump of cells. If we were aborting dog fetuses, there'd be much bigger of an uproar than if we're aborting black babies. But we'll put that aside for a second. It's not a life. Okay, we're gonna agree on that. Right?
For argument's sake, assuming arguendo it's not a life.
Assuming that's not a life. So, you're a man. You get a woman pregnant. Right? So she's pregnant with a clump of cells. A fertilized egg, if you will. A fetus. I don't know what that is.
Sounds like you have experience with this, Russ.
Well, let's just...
No comment.
So, there's a couple things that happen here. Let's just assume this, it's a woman's right to choose. Let's go back to that. Right?
We have no choice in the matter whatsoever.
We have no choice in the matter. So she aborts this thing. We're not even going to call it a baby.
We're not going to call it life. We're not going to call it a baby. Okay.
Because I'm a Hillary Clinton, forward. I'm with Hillary Clinton.
You're leaning forward right now. I see you doing it in your chair.
MSNBC and Al Sharpton and a whole bunch. So we abort this thing, but the man wanted this kid. He wanted his child. Can he have the child if the woman chooses to abort it?
Apparently not.
No. So now, woman's pregnant, fetus, clump of cells, whatever you want to call it. And the woman chooses to have the baby, and the man does not want the baby.
Well, then he's on the hook for, as Kanye would say, 18 years.
18 years, 18%, I believe it is, or somewhere around there.
Whatever it may be, it's a percentage of your income for the next 18 years of your life. Probably even more now with Obamacare, you'll have to provide insurance coverage up until, 25, right?
I think you're a kid until 74 nowadays.
Something like
whatever
that
is. But, how is that right, Gene? So, a woman's right to choose. She had a choice when she said yes at the bar to a drink. She had a choice when she said yes to going to the diner after the drink. She had a choice to hold your hand and make out in the car and go back to your apartment and take off her shirt and have...
Choice for all that stuff. Absolutely.
Choice. And then she has the choice, after she gets pregnant... Well, first of all, she had the choice of demanding you wear a condom or taking the morning after pill, but we'll put that aside.
Choice all around.
Then she has the choice whether or not to keep the baby, but the man basically has no choices there except to wait for the woman's choice and then pay.
It's the Chris Rock way of dealing with pregnancy. You're either going to be so happy about it or you're going to say, so what you going to do?
So I don't understand the logic here.
Well, listen, the liberal response to you is you are a white male racist sexist oppressor. And it's
what else is new, Gene? What else is new?
That's what they'll say to you.
So let's talk about race since you brought it up.
Finally, thank you.
Well, what do blacks make up in this population?
I don't even know.
Roughly 18%, and that includes everyone who identifies even a part of them as black.
Okay, I'll accept your word for that.
You know what I mean? So it's...
when you're living in a majority-minority city like the People's Republic of New York City, it looks like more because of the area you're in.
It looks like more if you live in Brooklyn, but if you and
if you're in Nebraska, not so much.
Well, for you Philly fans or Brooklyn fans or anybody who's listening on the internet, drive away from your urban area and look what's around. It's lots of white people eating mayonnaise sandwiches. Wow, that was racist. But
totally racist.
But I've met some people who've done it. My sister actually eats mayonnaise sandwiches. I love you, Michelle. But
shout out to Tampa right now, who's underwater, by the way.
They make up roughly 18% of the population. That's if you include every single one of them. Even people who partially identify as such. But they make up 37% of the abortions.
Wow, that's double.
Yeah, so, I mean, if this was a plan by the Republican Party to abort the black race out of existence, it would be insanely racist and somewhat successful.
This is Margaret Sanger's plan, though, isn't it? The creator of Planned Parenthood.
Absolutely. And if you look at Margaret Sanger, she looks a lot like these women in the videos now. Clip-haired, mean, liberal,
evil, demonic,
softball players, bowlers,
Supreme Court justices. No,
Supreme Court justices appointed by Democratic president.
We went a little too far, but you know what we're saying, folks.
You know what I'm saying. Women who will never get impregnated themselves, who want babies aborted for some reason. Now listen, let's rewind for 1 second and then we'll be finished with this topic. We're not heartless here.
Speak for yourself.
There's room for argument on this topic. I mean, the rape and incest,
Listen, if your insurance is covering the procedure, do what you want. If my tax dollars are paying for it, I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know if I'd even go that far, but I would definitely draw the line at tax dollars. I'd say that no matter what, tax dollars can never go to an organization that promotes this sort of thing. Never.
It's not that they perform it. Promote it.
Promote it and perform in any way, shape, or form. I cannot support any tax dollar going to an organization that has anything to do with this. However, besides that, what we're doing is killing people and selling their body parts. I mean, it's undeniable. We're killing people and selling their body parts. Hitler would have never even dreamed of doing things like this. It's insanity what we're doing and allowing to happen. And President Obama and Hillary Clinton support this.
And with more videos coming out in the coming weeks, I'm sure we'll be talking about this again and again and again. Russ mentioned his name earlier, and I guess we have to invoke the privilege here for the Reverend Al Sharpton.
I miss the Reverend Al.
I know you missed the clips, right? But
I do.
You know what? I'm gonna give you your fix right now. We'll be back with another topic right after this brief word from the Reverend Al Sharpton.
The show will be right back. But first, a word from Al Sharpton.
And we will much about that be committed. So there's no real conflict. Michael Druniak, including Lincoln himself, Daniel Day-Lewis. Behind Monica Lewinsky, the one and only Trey Songz is here. But Allison Lundergan Grimes, Gina De Jesus, when Gina De Jesus, Tea Party challenger Matt Bivens. People don't want to have their Social Security overall. The Republican savior, Mark Rubio's big night. In evolution and Galileo, I mean this whole thing of Galileo, America's changed. Unless IT and Skillets, President Putin doing something similar back in, it won't change this fundamental fact about the GOP. Just how absurd these attacks is. Nearly 6 months after the dangerous traffic jam, the Thai military says, my friend for many years, Ilyana Van Zandt. There's nothing there.
And all we can get is an internet show? Let's get back to it.
We want to thank the Washington Free Beacon for that hilarious Reverend Al stuff. We love playing it every week. You guys keep making them, we'll keep playing them. But now, Russ, it's the segment of the show that I think everybody's been waiting for. It's time to talk about the great debate. Or as someone online on Facebook, and my Facebook said, the mass debate. Oh, who said that? Wait a minute.
That's pretty funny.
I thought it was pretty good. I was not one of your friends. It was not me.
Oh, wow, that's actually pretty clever.
I thought it was pretty good. The mass debate. I love it. Anyway, so we have our top 10 for the debate that's going to be happening on Fox this week.
We do. I mean, I'll rattle them off. Donald Trump. Oh, there's more of them. Okay. So, we got Donald Trump. We got, Kasich and Christie, who just barely, squeezed in there at the end of the, day.
Are you now a Donald Trump guy? We haven't talked to you in like a month.
I am a Donald Trump guy, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
So we got, Trump, Kasich, Christie, Jeb Bush, Boo, Scott Walker, Mike Huckabee, Ben Carson, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Rand Paul.
It's a veritable who's who, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so...
Or in some cases, a veritable who's that.
Yeah, for some of these guys. So why am I a Trump guy?
Yes, let's get it out of the way. I'm going to tell you why you're a Trump guy first.
You tell me.
You're a Trump guy because, A, he says everything that everybody wants to say or says off microphone that we all say to each other anyway, and he says that in public and doesn't care. Number 2, the establishment hates him and have been going nuts on him. And the fact that he's getting beat down by the establishment kind of reminds you of how the grassroots get beat down by the establishment. I don't know if you're getting that deep into it, but you like that he's taking on the establishment, head on, and he's not owned by them.
I think there's some valid points there. But if you think about this, Gene, Rudolph Giuliani ran New York City.
America's mayor.
Probably didn't line up on most views with New Yorkers.
He did and he didn't. I think
some social issues
he may have, but not a lot. Not a lot.
I mean, if you polled New Yorkers,
public safety definitely ripped a lot of noses in the dirt.
You poll New Yorkers about, do I agree with Mayor Giuliani on whatever issue? He'd probably get like lots of negatives, but he won re-election. George W. Bush, First term, obviously, with Al Gore, controversial. He had a whole term. The media beat him up. Saturday Night Live beat him up. Looked like a dummy on Saturday Night Live and a whole bunch of other, Daily Show. If you polled people, they personally liked him, but didn't agree with his policies. Now, both of these men wound up being great leaders and winning re-election. This is why I think Donald Trump is almost an unstoppable force. The man is running in a Republican primary. And if you look at his past, you don't necessarily agree with most of his social, views, lots of his policy positions. We don't even know what most of his policy positions are. But the man is a leader, and like Giuliani and like Bush, that what the guy says, he means, and he's gonna carry out. And I think people want a leader in the White House. When he says insane things like, we're gonna build a wall on the Mexican border, and guess what? Mexico's gonna pay for it. Americans want that kind of leadership. We want a cowboy in the White House.
Didn't JFK say we will go to the moon? And then he ended up going.
And he wound up going. When he calls a spade, and says that Mexico's sending drug dealers and rapists across the border, that's kinda true. You could put your head in the sand and say, no, they're all coming here out of love, which I think Jeb Bush said.
And here come the cards and letters. I feel them coming right now. gbaradelli@gmail.com for all complaints. But you know what? Here's what I said on a couple of other shows.
Speaking of which, by the way.
I just gotta do one thing on Trump, then we can move on. Trump is not a conservative.
No.
He's a Trump-servative. He serves himself first.
I like
and foremost.
Trump-servative.
He doesn't have the views of a conventional conservative, but he has the leadership qualities that a conservative has been dying for. And I understand that. However, to me, it's just a matter of time rush before he implodes.
I don't think so.
Somebody's gonna rub him the wrong way. He's known for erratic behavior when it comes to personal vendetta. Something we know a little bit about. When it comes to vendetta, he acts irrationally. There's gonna be a vendetta that develops, he's gonna act irrationally, and he's gonna end up dropping out, making a third-party run, killing the ticket, whatever the case may be. I don't know if it's gonna go that far, but something will happen where he'll self-destruct. I don't see Trump making it past Christmas.
Here's why I disagree. Logically speaking, it makes sense what you're saying. But here's why I disagree from the empirical data that I've seen. First of all, Kelly Osbourne on The View.
You saw that today? This week, rather?
I see it on Drudge. Drudge is an awesome place. You gotta stop there if you're a conservative and get your news.
I have to say, why is Russ watching The View? Wait a minute. Okay,
yeah,
Drudge makes more sense.
Drudge linked to it. And, Kelly Osbourne, she asked Donald Trump on the air, not Donald Trump wasn't there, obviously.
Rhetorically speaking,
who would clean your toilets if the Latinos leave? In reference to the comments that, Trump made.
She's a racist.
Does this not just put on full display the hypocritical nature of liberals?
Limousine liberalism.
You want slaves. We've talked about this in the past, Gene. I know I've outlined this several times on several other shows. What the left wants is slaves. You want unfettered immigration from third world countries so that they can clean your toilets and pump your gas and whatever menial task, cut your grass, whatever other menial task that you as an American refuses to do because you're such an uppity, rich first worlder. Well, guess what? You're a hypocrite. You know what I mean? These immigrants are not slaves, but that's what they are when you have them come in and pay them substandard wages. That aside, Gene, let's put that aside.
I'm with you on that. Can I tell you?
I want to tell you why Trump won't implode.
Yes, go ahead.
And
go for it.
Throw it right back
No, go ahead.
Reason why Trump's not going to implode. He made a comment about, several comments. I'm going to go down three real quick. John McCain. He said something to the effect of, John McCain's a war hero? Well, I'd rather,
he's a war hero because he was captured?
I'd rather bestow, approval upon people who are not captured. You know what I mean? Something
As
like
a veteran, how'd you feel about that comment?
On the face of it, I would be, upset. But like I said earlier, Trump has this magic where he says what he means what he says, and there's no sacred cows. John McCain's a douche.
And by the way, I was just about to get there. John McCain started this whole thing by calling Trump supporters by bringing out the crazies.
There you go. John McCain's a douche. He got what he deserved. Go get him, Trump. Pull out all the stops. Don't you think he's going to be great against Hillary in a debate? If he's willing to stand against John McCain?
Well, I'm not so sure. He's given a lot of money to the Clinton Foundation.
He has. And Did he apologize and give it back and say, I shouldn't have done that?
Nope.
No, he said, listen, I live in New York City. I got lots of business in New York City. The city council is 48 Democrats, 3 Republicans.
Kind of.
The Iranian parliament has more of a dissenting voice than the New York City council. What do you want me to do over here?
And now the same People's Republic of New York City are looking to review his contracts, illegally I might add, to see if they have to be pulled because of some of the stuff that he's saying. Again, another way for liberals to attack him.
The second thing, Mexicans. He talked about illegal immigration.
It's all about the women, the independents, and the Mexicans, right, Russ?
And the Mexicans, always. He talked about illegal immigration and how Mexico is not sending us their best and brightest. And who can deny that? Who can deny that are we getting lots of doctors? Did you go to a Dr. Julio Sanchez from Guadalajara recently?
Nope.
I'm not saying they don't exist. But what I'm saying is the vast majority are unskilled laborers. That's undeniable. That's a fact. So what is the debate here? Donald Trump was right. We have multiple examples over the past few weeks of American citizens being killed.
Sanctuary cities, of course.
In sanctuary cities by illegal immigrants. And did he back down from that comment? Did this comment go over the top and destroy his candidacy? No. He went up in the polls, Gene, after he said that.
It's kind of, it's a counter-logical thing. But it goes back to your idea. People want leadership. And he's showing that. You got a third one you want to say.
Third one. So, the news comes out, I forgot which reporter, it's not even worth looking up his name to tell you the truth. And he brings up the fact that Ivana Trump accused Donald Trump of rape during their divorce proceedings.
Yes, it was one of the internet rags. I think it was a Daily Beast, something like that,
what
right?
other candidate besides, what other candidate besides Bill Clinton could survive an accusation like that?
Well, and then Ivana comes out and says, I support Donald Trump, and this never happened.
She endorsed him! I mean, come on! Donald Trump is the Teflon Donald. It's impossible to stop this guy. He is going all the way. Again, is he my first choice? No. But can I live with Donald in the White House? You're damn right I can.
So basically, short of finding a hooker in the trunk.
Even if they did, I don't know if they could stop him.
Short of a car being sent over a bridge in Chappaquiddick. that Donald is going to be around for the long run is what you're saying.
He's in it till the end, my friend. I don't think we can stop this guy. He's a juggernaut.
All right. Well, I want to get to a portion of the debate field that proves that people are thinking like Gene Baradelli. If you look down the list of this top 10, what do you see pervasive throughout that list? Gubernatorial victors in different states, different governors, Republican governors providing leadership. And a lot of them are rhinos before you even say it, but
and white
Gene
men.
was right. And
white men.
White male.
Get Carly in that debate. We need Carly on the top
Well, listen,
stage.
you have two.
Fox News, you're a disgrace.
You have 2 Latinos, 3 if you count Jeb.
Oh!
There you go.
And Bobby Jindal. What? No.
No, he's in the bottom half.
The other, yeah.
No, back of
and
the bus.
he's not Hispanic.
He's in the back of the bus. What do you want to do?
Wow.
I know. It's one of those.
Racist.
Listen, Russ Gallow's back. I gotta up my game a little bit. But if you go down the list, Russ. Bush, former governor. Christie, current governor. Kasich, current governor. Keep,
O'Malley.
I'm using, but just go through the list. You'll see 3 right there. Scott Walker, number 4.
Kasich made it in. He's
Kasich, Christie.
Huckabee, former governor.
5. Half the field.
Yeah. And a bunch of senators.
People want executive experience, and that's what you're finding in the top 10 right now.
But I was joking around about the white thing, halfway.
2 Latinos.
We got Ben Carson, a couple Latinos.
Ben Carson.
And Carly. You know, we got a good, healthy
I
field.
like Carly Fiorina a lot. I'm very upset she didn't make it. She was moving up the polls late in a couple of different polls. Real Clear Politics, I think she's up to 6th or 7th.
I mean, Rick Santorum had the best compromise, and I wish Fox would have took him up on this. I was listening to the radio a few weeks ago, and Rick Santorum said what they should do is hold 2 debates, both prime time, and you make the first debate the even numbers. You rank everybody by popularity in the polls. First debate is even numbers, so you have top tier and bottom tier candidates in the same debate. And the second debate, odd numbers, so you still have top tier, bottom tier candidates in the second debate. That would have made the most sense to me, especially when you have a field of most of the candidates at the bottom half of the top 10 are polling at like 2.5%, 3%. The margin of error is 4 or 5%. All these people are in the margin of error. They can have 0 or they can have 3% or 4%. It's ridiculous that you're going to cut people out of prime time.
But here's the thing, Russ. When we talked with Rafi Williams from the RNC, he let us know up front, there's going to be a debate a month coming from now on. Nobody's going to remember. This debate is all about first impressions. Whether you're at 5 o'clock or you're at 9 o'clock, you have an opportunity to make that quotable moment. That's what this debate's about.
Yeah, but you have the chance, Gene, to lose the election, right? You cannot win the election on the first debate.
But you can lose it.
Look at Rick Perry. He popped out of nowhere last time around and was on top of Mitt Romney.
And he's still paying for it 4 years later.
Still paying for it. He's barely polling. The guy was on top of Mitt Romney last time around 2012. One poor debate performance lost the race right out of the bat.
Absolutely. But a quotable moment can help you propel yourself up into the upper echelon.
Yeah, but Mitt Romney had quotable moments in the first debate, and look what happened to him. He got crushed because he backed off after.
But we're talking about the first impression right now. To me, this debate, and we did a little preview, and now let's do some predictions. To me, this debate is made for Ted Cruz. It's made for him. He is the man that will have a one-liner for every single thing out there, and he'll be the most quoted candidate coming out of this first debate.
I like Ted Cruz because I agree with you. The guy, he's Donald Trump, but not on steroids. That was my plastic cup.
You're playing with my nephew's toys is what you're doing. Let's be honest here.
Donald Trump is going to say some outrageous things, and it's going to be great. I mean, this is going to be Donald Trump, by the way. Speaking of debate,
I have a prediction about Trump too. Trump will not throw the first punch.
He might not, but this is great for the Republican Party. We finally got a celebrity on stage. This is going to be the most watched debate probably in presidential history because the Donald's in it. And this is terrific for our party. Younger people are going to be watching this debate. Younger people like Donald Trump. Donald Trump's polling well amongst Hispanics. Donald Trump is good for the Republican Party, whether you agree with him or not on issues. That aside, I love Ted Cruz. I think Ted Cruz is probably the best candidate we have. People are going to not want to vote for him for a whole host of reasons. A young
he has
senator.
a lot of negs, but I think the negs go away when they hear him speak for themselves.
Yes. Brilliant. He's more Ronald Reagan than Ronald Reagan.
We were in a room together with him and for about 40 minutes just talking issues at CPAC.
Off the cuff. No teleprompter. Brilliant man. A brilliant lawyer. A constitutionalist. If someone's going to be a great president, it's going to be Ted Cruz. I think Rand Paul will do well in this debate.
I disagree.
Why?
I think Rand Paul gets lost in the shuffle.
I don't think so. Rand Paul, and you've been to lots of these things, Gene, the poll bots are there.
Oh,
force,
totally. They're going to be there.
In mass. So as soon as Paul says something that these poll bots are passionate about, he's going to get the cheers and the jeers, and it's going to sound like he's doing great. I think Paul does good in the debate. But Paul is also brilliant. And he's a constitutionalist.
And he's a bit of a nut job when it comes to foreign affairs.
Yes. Although, here's the deal, and if I was a governor, and I was running for president, or if I was not a senator, and I was running for president on the Republican field, I would go to town on these guys in this debate. And this is my prediction. The Senate, every Republican in the Senate, pretty much, has given up their constitutional authority for treaty making. Whether it's the Iran deal or
TPP.
the Trans-Pacific Partnership, they've given it up. And this Iran deal is a disgrace. What happens now, and we've been reporting on this for months now, Gene. What Congress has to do now is basically override a veto, 2/3 of both houses. It's damn near impossible. So, the Iran deal is happening. Even though John Kerry hasn't read it, Barack Obama's not telling us what's in it, it's gonna be law. And the treaty provision of the Congress of the Constitution says that only a Senate, with the advice and consent of the Senate, can a treaty be ratified. But by giving the president fast track authority, we've given that up. So if you're a Republican in the Senate, shame on you. And if I was a governor or a non-senator in this debate, don't think that Donald Trump isn't going to say these things. By the way, he's going to go after them.
So who fires the first shot, though? I have an idea of who I think it's going to be. I want to see if you agree with me.
How could any senator, unless they stood up and voted against the fast track authority for this,
for the Trans-Pacific Partnership,
and the Iran
deal, yes,
say anything about that, saying how they would vote against it? Donald Trump. This is ripe for a guy like Donald Trump to go against him, or Scott Walker, or you know what I mean.
But who fires the first shot in the debate? Because it's all going to be friendly and congenial in the beginning, but then someone's going to step over the line.
I think that Jeb Bush throws the first punch. Jeb Bush has the most to lose.
Nope, I disagree with you. Chris Christie's going to throw the first punch. He's pugnacious. He confronts people. He's a prosecutor.
I don't know.
I think he is the one that's going to twist the knife a little bit.
And we have some Rhino lobbyist friends who are consultants and all these people. I think that Chris Christie, and if you watched his what do you call when they first, his announcement speech.
Yeah. Oh, everybody has an announcement in a video and a flourish nowadays.
It was so soft, and it's not Chris Christie.
And that's soft as S-A-W-F-T.
Soft. It was so soft. And that's not Christie. So that tells me that he's got his advisors and his consultants softening his image.
They do.
So him in the debate, don't expect your classic Chris Christie from New Jersey. You're gonna get Republican Rhino, check pants wearing, golf teeing softy. That's my prediction for Chris Christie.
Well, and my final prediction, then we're going to kind of wrap things up here, Russ. My final prediction is the candidate most likely to have an Admiral Stockdale moment. Was it Stockdale or Stockwell? I don't even remember. The guy who ran with Perot.
Perot was vice president. Admiral.
Is it Stockdale or Stockwell?
I forgot.
Who cares? He's gone.
Who cares?
But the one who's going to have one of those, who am I? What am I here doing moments? That's going to be Ben Carson. I think Ben Carson's out of his league here, Russ.
It's Admiral Stockdale.
Thank you. But
you think so?
I think he's the one most likely to have one. I'm not sure he's going to. But do you think that Ben Carson's in over his head, yes or no?
I think he's in over his head only in the sense that he's swimming with sharks. He's probably amongst the most intelligent people on the stage.
Intelligent about most things. But I don't think he's schooled in the way of politics.
No, and in the way of politics, no. So he's swimming with sharks, vipers. I think we have a friend locally who calls snakes. So yeah, he's in a snake pit. But Ben Carson's a genuine guy. I think he'll do all right. He'll hold his own. What's going to trip everyone up is the foreign affairs type of thing, and when they try to get to specifics. The good thing is that it's Fox News hosting the first debate, so they're not going to purposely try to trip these guys up. They're going to ask them open-ended questions and allow them to.
But that I think is where Jeb's going to shine, because he's going to have the most schooling and training on the foreign affairs stuff, because he has the old Bush team.
But here's where I disagree. So Jeb Bush, you ask him a question, he'll have the wonky policy answer, and he might actually know what, or have an idea of what could actually be done. And that's not what the primary Republicans want to hear. If you talk about immigration, you know what Republican primary voters want to hear? By the way, I'm one of them. We want to hear that a wall is going to be built on our southern border, and Mexico is going to pay for it. There's only one candidate delivering that.
Just like
message.
Israel, right? The way that wall is.
Yeah.
You see that wall?
Think about any issue and what people say. The only people who are going to give you the right answer in this debate are guys like Trump, Cruz, Walker, and Rand Paul. That's it. And Rick Perry if he was in it, but he's not.
All right, pick your final predictions now, and then we're going to end the segment and take the show out. Who's going to be the biggest winner? Who's going to be the biggest loser out of the primetime debate?
Biggest loser by far will be Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush is going to be exposed as the rhino that he is. They're all going to pile on him because I think that most people share your view that Trump will implode at some point, so they view Jeb Bush as the front runner and they're going to be attacking him. Jeb Bush, the biggest loser. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Donald Trump, the big winner. He's going to say some outrageous things. People are going to love it. Donald Trump comes out on top at the end of all this.
I think biggest loser coming out of this debate is going to be Mike Huckabee, because he's not going to be able to stand out and distinguish himself at all. I don't think we were
counting him, but all right. Go ahead.
But he's gonna be the biggest loser out of the whole thing. Biggest winner to me out of this whole thing is going to be Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is going to have many quotable moments. Trump is going to be Trump, and they expect him to be Trump. Trump has a lot to lose going in, but I don't think he gains anything by having a good debate showing. I think the person who can be the biggest winner of this whole thing is Ted Cruz.
I hope you're right. Because I think the person that would be the best president of the United States would be Senator Ted Cruz.
All right, there you go, folks. We're going to wrap things up. We normally do Buffoon of the Week. We've been holding off for Russ to get back. But I think we're going to give you a week to settle in there, pal. Because, listen, there's a lot going on.
Right. Can I get a minute?
Catch up. Time for a final thought here, though. Are you ready for your final thought, or you want to?
Yeah, no, I'm ready. Let's do this. We have a spat, and by the way, one just happened the other day, of unarmed American military personnel being targeted by terrorists, whether they be domestic, foreign, Islamic, or homegrown, whatever you want to classify them as. And this is a freaking disgrace. A freaking disgrace. These people are highly trained. Most of them have deployed and served his country overseas armed to the teeth. And they're being attacked on the homeland by, I don't want to curse, so I'm going to try to calm myself down here, Jane. In one case, a Muslim fanatic extremist killed 4 Marines and injured a petty officer, who, by the way, I heard is being charged himself for a crime because he went and got his own personally owned weapon to fight back. Do you want to talk about a backwards country here? Do you want to talk about a backwards country? Camp Shelby, Mississippi. Another attack. The details are still flowing in. But they said that an attack from outside the base happened. It's a National Guard post down in Mississippi where shots rang in. Training is continuing. No one was hurt. Thank God. But what are we doing here, Gene? Recruiting centers are being shot up. Reserve training centers are being shot up. National Guardsmen and reservists, as well as active duty personnel, train in this country unarmed. They're either shooting blank rounds, and even when they have live rounds, it's on tightly controlled gun ranges. And we've talked about this in the past. If you want to take gun control to its logical or illogical extreme, go to any military post. Your military members are unarmed. They're only allowed to carry guns on ranges, on firing ranges, and they're ripe targets. Most military bases are still open to the public. If you order a pizza and you live on a military post, this is not classified information I'm giving you. You can drive in. If you order Chinese food, you can drive in. They get Chinese food delivered to military posts all the time. The Fort Dix plot was a bunch of pizza delivery guys. I believe they were Muslims from some Eastern European country who were going to drive in and shoot unarmed military personnel. Arm reservists and active duty members now. You allow police officers to carry arms on and off duty. Allow your military members to do the same. What the hell's wrong with you people?
You may not know this, Russ, but the Ed Show has been canceled on MSNBC.
Are you kidding me?
It's been canceled.
When?
Just recently, past week.
I loved Ed.
So, listen. This is what I love about him, too. Ed made a video talking about how the show's been taken off air and thanking all his listeners. And it was really nice of him to thank every one of his listeners by name. So that was pretty cool.
Are you kidding me?
And that's my final thought. No, of course I didn't do that. That's a joke.
Show.
There you go. That's my final thought. Hey, how you doing? Oh, that's my final thought right there. We're out of time, folks. I want to thank everybody for listening. I got my best friend back, which is awesome. We're going to get ready to shut this down proper like.
Gene, shut this mofo down.
All right. Back next week, folks. We are out of here.
Our position's been compromised. It's time to roll out. Report for debriefing at www.BehindEnemyLinesRadio.us and look for regular communications via Facebook and Twitter at BEL_radio. You are the resistance. Behind Enemy Lines. A Rock Radio production. Copyright 2015. Back in 7 days.
The leader in talk radio on the internet. Right here on K98Talk.com.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.